So, Sean, I know that you talked about, setting the scene, coming up with set pieces to get me from A to Z and everywhere in between, but I can't even think of those things. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. You know what you do? You do this. So you're not sure what to write for a campaign, for a story. You don't have any NPCs to populate your world, which is bad because you need people to populate the world, and you need a world for your adventures to populate. You don't even know where to begin. So what I'm going to say might sound a little crazy, but steal it. A lot of people running campaigns, running adventures, are taking things either from the pre-existing Wizards of the Coast publications, they're taking things online from previous writers or homebrew campaigns made by other people. But a lot of pop culture out there, so whether it's video games, it's TV, movie, books, D&D, and beyond, they're all taking similar ideas and reframing them and reskinning them. So a team of heroes must band together to collect these mystical or magical MacGuffins spread throughout the world or throughout the universe. And we need to get them before this evil, evil tyrant gets them, because something horrible is going to happen. Is that Frieza wishing for immortality with the Dragon Balls? Is that Thanos trying to get the Infinity Stones to half of the universe out of existence? Is it Mario needing to collect all the stars in Paper Mario? Because reasons, and it's always stars. So all of those things have a similar overarching thing. Collect things before the bad guy gets them. Get things before the bad thing happens. Use something like that. Granted, we never finished the campaign, and we probably never will, but the first year of Critical Failure, where we were going around collecting different gems or stones that were from a bunch of different planes of existence, and they all had these unique powers that I kind of felt like that someone from each of those planes might give, like a warlock from those planes might give their patron like a certain power of some kind. But when they were all together, it was going to unmake the world or something. Or I'm not going to go into the big hook that I had in there. But that was originally, to be completely honest, I was originally writing that as like secretly a Dragon Ball thing, and that you were going to be working for Frieza and you didn't know it. This king saved your lives, and you were going to start working for him and doing stuff. And then that kind of changed over time. So start with what you know. Start with what you know, and then kind of go from there. And when you're coming up with NPCs, in my first video that I made, I talked about maybe writing up and making some characters of your own. So a lot of times when my party comes across NPCs that I think that they're going to think are important, and a lot of times they end up not caring about those NPCs, and they attach to the random woman who works at the Miners Exchange and fall in love with her and whatever other things. If it's an NPC that you think is going to be important to the story, make a character of it. And think about, if you were playing that person, who would you be? Because, as the dungeon master, you're helping the players kind of develop their characters as they go along the adventure. So what type of character would you like to develop? And have him or her or them be an important NPC in the story. Now, when coming up with just random Joe Schmo, wing it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Or borrow other things from pop culture. So in that original story that we were doing with Maxwell and Providence and the Planar Gems and stuff like that, I was using Krillin from Team 4-Star. His name was Juan Sanchez, just like in Team 4-Star. I just unabashedly I took that character and I put it in my game, because that's someone who I thought would be a funny guide. Krillin, the guy who gets his butt kicked by everybody, the guy who's always being talked down on and things like that, guiding these new adventurers that he wasn't even as good as. I thought that was a funny hook to do. Or when we got to the very last thing we did was it was a tournament that was inspired by the Yu Yu Hakusho dart tournament, or one of the World Martial Arts tournaments, or any of the other tournaments that you see in any other anime. And each of the teams, and granted, I didn't get a chance to characterize them, we filmed those episodes. Films is aggressive. We recorded and played those almost a year ago now. And I wish that I had taken time to characterize them, because what I did was, for each of those teams, I just took a different set of heroes from different anime, manga, games, books, whatever, and I made those the NPCs of the people that they were fighting. So there was the Ninja Turtles, and there was the Winchesters from Supernatural, and there was Yu Yu Hakusho. Wow, Team Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, because the Dart Tournament inspired that to begin with. I had Watto from Star Wars be the Nappa from Dragon Ball's manager, because I was having fun playing with those characters. So if you can't come up with your own NPCs or your own story, take something that you like and know a lot about already and adapt that, add to that, and then make that the basis of your story. I'm not saying recreate the Frieza saga from beginning to end. I'm not saying take the, at this point, 22 or 23 movies in the MCU through Endgame and make that your story. Take what you know, make it your own. That's my advice for coming up with your own stories, coming up with your own NPCs. Now, the random shopkeeper or innkeeper or crazy person screaming on the side of the highway, just have fun with that. I used to take the names of friends and coworkers and things like that and just say, like, oh, that's Devin over there doing what he does. Don't worry about old Devin. So don't worry about it. Don't think about it too. Think about it, but don't worry about it too much. And don't worry about your friends or the players being like, "No, you just stole this from this." So who cares? If you're having fun playing it, then that's all that matters. But as usual, if you like the video, do all those things that all the YouTube people ask you to do. Check out the podcast, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.